Good evening, everybody. I'm Don Shelby. Up next on the news at 6 as football fans arrive in full force. Word tonight that the Twin Cities may have to prepare for even more guests arriving all at once next year. And we'll hear why the Super Bowl hype is disappointing for some Minnesotans looking to cash in on its success. That and more coming up next.
Red cars, red lips, red stars, red fingertips, red walls, red songs, red bowling balls, red telephone.
This week at the Target movie department, pick up Grease, Little Abner, Flashdance, and Footloose, only $11.16 each.
When the NFL chose Minnesota for the Super Bowl, it also chose GMC Truck. You should too. Choose Sierra and get $500 cash back or GMAC financing. Choose Safari and get $750 cash back. Choose a Sonoma pickup and get your choice of the rebate or the GMAC finance rate. Or choose a Jimmy and get up to $1,500 cash back. This winter, choose GMC Truck. About the only thing better would be a snowmobile. See your Viking Land GMC Truck dealer today.
Our winter celebration warms the hearts of Minnesotans and our guests. They're skating, curling, and celebrating the Super Bowl. The eyes of America are on the Twin Cities this weekend for the Winter Carnival and, of course, the Super Bowl. But we've received news today the world may focus on us next year as well, as we may want to brace ourselves for yet another extraordinary visit. Good evening. You think the Super Bowl is something to go all out for? How about a visit from the Pope? Archbishop John Roach has announced the Twin Cities is in the running to host the World Youth Rally. Now, it's a huge gathering of children from all over the world, which includes an appearance from the Pope. WCCO's Pat Kessler has more on what could be Pope John Paul's first visit ever to Minnesota.
The closest the Pope has come to Minnesota was 12 years ago in Des Moines, Iowa. The trip proposed for August of 1993 is a bigger event. Not a few hours of the Pope's time, but a few days.
Think of this not just as a papal visit. Think of this also as a World Youth Congress. And the Pope is coming here not as a papal visit. He's coming here specifically to be a part of that kind of youth rally.
The Youth Conference is a week-long event held every 2 years. On the agenda are meetings, rallies, and prayer services. The grand finale is an open-air mass led by the Pope.
You drive around, just take a look at a place where it handle 250,000 people, and it kind of narrows your pool. And but yeah, we've got some places in mind.
Among them, the Capitol Mall for the large mass, the Basilica in Minneapolis for smaller services, and the colleges around Summit Avenue for youth rally housing and events. The task force putting the proposal together will undoubtedly talk about the Twin Cities' track record, including the Special Olympics and the Super Bowl.
The Twin Cities now has demonstrated that they can host large international events. And that's one thing that can help sell this event, if you want to use those words, to the selection committee.
I think we're a good candidate. If I were choosing, I'd choose St. Paul, Minneapolis. But I'm not choosing, so.
Now, the Catholic Archdiocese will submit a proposal to the National Council of Bishops by the end of February. If it is selected, that selection will be made around Palm Sunday. And if whatever city is selected is, everything will happen around 1993 during the summer in August.
All right, Pat Kessler, very good, thank you. With word that the Twin Cities may be visited by Pope John Paul II next year for the World Youth Rally. Don?
The new attorney for accused murderer Jamie Starkey wants all 54 Hennepin County District judges disqualified from presiding over the teenager's coming trial. Ellis Olcon says the murder victim, civic leader Earl Craig Jr., was too well known for his client to get a fair trial in Minneapolis.
Many Hennepin County judges were at his funeral just a few days ago. He was a close friend of the Hennepin County prosecutor.
Olcon succeeded in having Judge Andrew Danielson removed from the case today, but Chief Judge Roberta Levy promptly replaced him with Judge John Stanek, suggesting that Olcon will have to reject each and every judge with a good reason, one at a time. But Olcon wants the Chief Justice of the state Supreme Court to appoint a judge from rural Minnesota.
Go to some rural community, maybe not as far off as International Falls.
Ocon wants the Chief Justice of the Minnesota Supreme Court to decide this matter. Starkey remains in jail on $150,000 cash bond. Our Super Bowl coverage now starts with a look at some opposition surrounding the big game. The use of American Indian nicknames by the NFL has set the stage for protest by some American Indians. You're looking live at a group known as AIM, the American Indian Movement, gathering this hour outside the Minneapolis Hyatt Hotel. There are fewer than 100 currently there using loudspeakers. This is what's known as an informational picket. The Hyatt is the headquarters of the media covering the Super Bowl. Cindy.
In all the excitement of the Super Bowl, there are some disappointed homeowners. They were hoping to take in a few extra dollars by renting out their homes. Consumer reporter Sylvia Gambardella shows us why they were left empty-handed.
For months, Twin Cities hotels have been booked for the Super Bowl, so local homeowners hoping to cash in on an opportunity to make some money by renting out their houses turned to the St. Paul Convention and Visitors Bureau. The Bureau put out a list 2 weeks ago. For $75, homeowners could advertise on that list.
We sent the list out to some 700 people and publicized it in the Buffalo and Washington media markets. We publicized it with the NFL, both here and in New York City.
But some homeowners, like Sue Centers, who paid for a listing, say they never got any phone calls.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed. I thought I had a real product here that could be sold. I thought both people could benefit, both parties could benefit. And I'm real disappointed that it's not. I really thought it would be rented.
Sue offered to rent her luxury 2-bedroom, 2-bath home in Brooklyn Park for $750 a day.
I think they should have been more aggressive in their advertising. And for $75, I'd expect more than a newsletter going out and an 800 number.
Before we accepted anybody for listing or took anybody's check, they were provided with a good deal of information in exactly what the program was, so they had an opportunity to think it all through, and so I think maybe there may be some misunderstanding there.
The Bureau's contract for homeowners states it doesn't guarantee homes will be rented.
Can't tell you why some have and some have not. Obviously, there's difference in prices, there's difference in properties, there's difference in location and amenities and services, so.
The Bureau feels its experimental housing program was a success, and it hopes to try it out again in the future, possibly for the NCAA Final Four in April, if hotels again are booked up. Sylvia Gambardella, WCCO Television News.
The Convention Bureau says it's not sure just how many properties on its housing list were actually rented out, but it would like to hear from disappointed homeowners who didn't get their houses rented.
Double dose of good news today for 18-year-old John Thompson. Today his condition was upgraded to fair. Doctors say his reattached arms are healing as expected. Thompson is even beginning to sit up for brief periods now. Also today, the University of North Dakota awarded John Thompson a 4-year full-ride scholarship. Lots of celebrities in town, of course, for this great big event. Even past presidents have put Minnesota into the plans. That story is coming up in this half hour.
And we'll be right back after this.
Oh, no! Forgot to add the fabric softener. If only he knew about Solo. You can't forget the softener in Solo, because Solo is detergent and fabric softener in one. Look, these muddy sweatshirts came out clean, but Solo's clean is so soft, it's fluffed up higher. Don't stop! Don't! Next time, it stopped. Get Solo. It cleans with a softness you can't forget.
It was a dream vacation in Paris when suddenly...
I checked in this morning with my wife. Yes. And while I was in the shower, she left the room.
Yes?
And she hasn't come back.
What would you like us to do exactly?
I want you to find my wife.
A nightmare that only one woman could end.
You will get your wife, I will get my money, and everybody will be happy.
Taking him into a dangerous underworld where few survive. The heart-stopping network television premiere.
Where's my wife?
Harrison Ford. Frantic. Saturday at 8.
Clara'd be interested in the senior craft show.
I'll make this for Aunt Cindy with her picture from the sun.
This is a hearing I don't want to miss.
All right, pizza.
Minnesota Sun Publications. We're bringing your community home.
Oh,
Hey, who cut up my son's newspaper?
Well, it's nonstop action from here on out at the airport and throughout the Twin Cities as Friday marks the start of fan frenzy. Many out-of-towners getting their first taste of the Twin Cities. The payoff to the Twin Cities is supposed to be all this great publicity and all the big spending by the fans. Alan Cox is standing by at one of the fan centers, the one at Crystal Court where it is partying under glass. Alan, we know that you're looking good. Spending is the mood of the hour, but how about that publicity? I'm not too sure we're getting the best dose of that.
Well, we're getting it on a smaller scale, Don. Right now, some people gathered in Crystal Court. There's a jazz group with kind of a salsa flavor, Sabro Son, that's been playing. They're taking a break at the moment, but they'll start up again. And they should be giving visitors a good impression of the Twin Cities. May not be representative of a typical Friday night at the Crystal Court, but entertainment all the same. We wanted to share some of the first impressions of visitors, so we went to the airport. And before we could even walk into the terminal, John Shulga caught our eye. We'll show you why. It seems John has attended every Bills home game, save one, since 1960. He doesn't care where the Super Bowl is.
Me, coming from a cold country, I don't care where I go. This is great. I love it. Minneapolis is great. Great. Their treatment's good so far. Got no problems.
Except they're making you stand in the cold for a buck.
Oh, that's great. This is nothing. The sun's shining. What more can you ask for?
Well, maybe an on-time bus. They stood outside a half hour with only their contempt for Washington to keep them warm. Finally, it was on to the bus and a chance to get a first look at the cities.
You don't have that much snow here. No. There's a lot of older homes there.
Their hotel room is clean but simple. They say it doesn't matter because they won't be in the room that much. They'll be out spending money.
Souvenirs, things like that to take home.
Oh, souvenirs galore. Gotta buy souvenirs to take home. Food, drinking, partying. That's the most expensive.
The tickets head for the hotel safe. The fans head back to the bus. In Minneapolis, the convention center impresses them, and the Skyways. Then it's over the river to the first thing the fans wanted to visit.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
In just a few minutes, they're sold on the cities.
My impression is it's beautiful. Beautiful.
It restores my faith in American cities. I mean, it's a beautiful city. It's clean. I can't get over all the new buildings. I'm just totally amazed. It's so beautiful. So nice.
By now, they should be enhancing the local economy at one of the bars that's billed itself as a headquarters for Buffalo fans. But of course, Don, their final impressions of the Twin Cities are going to depend on the score of Sunday's game.
All right, Alan, thank you very much. Sounds like no matter who wins, it already appears that Minnesota has finally won a Super Bowl, Super Bowl 26.
Yes.
Thanks, Allison.
Well, I, along with a lot of other people, had a chance to soak in some of the NFL experience this afternoon at the Minneapolis Convention Center. And it is quite an experience. More than 30 displays, which offer everything from field goal kicking to Wilt Chamberlain's jersey, which you can buy, providing you have an extra $15,000 laying around. Today was opening day, and some of the biggest lines were for a chance to get an autograph from Houston Oilers quarterback Warren Moon. Now, the NFL experience runs through Sunday. Tickets are $14 at the door, and a lot of things to do and see there.
I want to hand it to Warren Moon. This guy has been available for every media event. He has taken part in every NFL function. He is doing a lot for not only the NFL, he's doing a lot for the Twin Cities as well. Now, we've got a lot more coming up. If you want to get out and check the cold and the NFL experience, a lot more to come, including ice racing.
Of the 344 new cars and trucks being sold today, these are the top 10 sellers. And of these top 10 sellers, only one dealer can offer you 5 of them, your local Ford dealer. From America's #1 selling small car, Ford Escort, to its design leader, Ford Taurus. From America's #1 selling compact pickup, Ranger, and sport utility, Explorer, to the world's #1 selling vehicle, Ford F-Series. With 5 of the top 10 sellers available at your local Ford dealer. Shouldn't you test drive one today?
Super Furs, super savings. Dayton's Super Fur Clearance. We're kicking off the bowl game with 33 to 50% savings on hundreds of salon furs, from elegant to sporty, classic to contemporary. Our starting lineup of designer furs features Calvin Klein, Valentino, Jeffrey Bean, and more. Every coat 33 to 50% 50% off. Don't miss your chance to score. Rush into Dayton's Super Fur Clearance. Wednesday through Saturday only, Dayton's, Minneapolis, and Southdale.
The love seat goes here, and my new entertainment center goes over there. As soon as I get my income tax refund.
Why wait for your money? Get it fast with H&R Block's Rapid Refund. We file your federal return electronically, and you may qualify to get a loan against your anticipated refund in a matter of days. Even the fees can be withheld. Available whether Block prepares your return or not, unless, of course, you like waiting. Rapid Refund from H&R Block to get your money fast.
It's a big weekend here on Channel 4, not just because of the Super Bowl. It's also the debut of a unique program with a one-of-a-kind newsman, Dave Moore. He kicks off More on Sunday at 9:30, following Charles Corral. The premiere of More on Sunday explores the issue of gambling, the attraction, the addiction, the involvement of Minnesota lawmakers in making it legal, and efforts by some to banish gaming from the state. Join us for More on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday morning at 9:30.
Now, Matt Balow and the weather.
Talking about all the publicity we're getting. We are getting some great publicity about the ice castle, but people either are complaining it was too cold or it wasn't cold enough. So you're right. You can't win.
You can't. Well, we just won't win. But I think one of the things we will be getting here over the next, actually the next 24 hours, is a couple inches of new snow.
Wait, really?
Which will at least make everything white again.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That will make us feel like Detroit did back in the 80s. Yeah.
It's a dirty word right now. Don't say that.
Well,
not Detroit.
No. But maybe a couple inches of snow to help brighten things up anyway. So that'll be pretty nice, I think, for everybody out there. And today actually wasn't all that warm, as you might have guessed. It's still a very cold air mass overhead. Our high temperature today only managed to make it to 14 degrees. 2 below was the morning low temperature. The normals are 20 and 0. And while we haven't had any snowfall yet, there is some on the way. Currently outside, we have some clouds. The temperature's at 11. An east wind at 14 right now. That's making it feel as if it was 15 below. The relative humidity 58%, and we have a falling barometer. Temperatures right now are a little bit cooler up north. They're below 0 right now up in Warroad, where it's 2 below, 0 in International Falls. But temperatures in the single digits through central Minnesota, and our temperature should stay about right where it is, maybe drop a degree or two over the next few hours, but really they'll be generally steady for the rest of the night. We had some clear skies last night at about this time, but clouds have been making their way through Minnesota. An Alberta Clipper is making its way through the Dakotas and just spreading those clouds across all of Minnesota. If you were outside today for much of the afternoon, half of the sky was blue, and the other half, you could see those clouds moving in from the west, and that's pretty much what we had out there. The Clipper right now, still back in North Dakota, spreading the clouds and some snow through the Dakotas and into southwestern Minnesota. It's looking like it's going to track down to our southwest and make its way over northern Illinois by tomorrow morning. With this path, the heaviest snow should be to the north of the path or just southwest of us. 2 to 4 inches expected through south central and southeastern Minnesota and on into southwestern Wisconsin. The National Weather Service does have a snow advisory, which is in effect. That's for the south central and southwestern portions of Minnesota. And for southwestern Wisconsin, does not include the Twin Cities. Way out to the west, the Huron radar right now, this is where the snow began earlier today. It's ending back here now, and just a little bit over the border into South Dakota. That snow, though, is just beginning to make its way into the Twin Cities. A live picture within 150 miles of the Twin Cities on the Doppler radar. I guess this would be the official Super Bowl Doppler, wouldn't it? I guess it would. This, all that snow is starting to make its way into the metro area now. Carver County, covered with some light snow, also mainly in Scott County. As far to the east as Prior Lake, and as far to the east also as Lake Minnetonka, and it's moving at a pretty good clip, east at 35 miles per hour, so it should move all the way into Wisconsin within the next hour and a half. Over the next 24 hours, that Clipper, as I mentioned, will drop a couple inches of snow across the Twin Cities. Then by tomorrow afternoon, we should see some sunshine. We'll be between storm systems, and then another one will be making its way in for the Super Bowl. Temperatures tomorrow will be a little bit warmer. We're looking for low 20s across the southern part of the state. Our forecast for tonight, thin cloudy with some light snow, 1 to 3 inches possible. Steady temperatures near the current reading of 11 and a light southeast wind. Flurries ending early tomorrow, becoming partly sunny. It'll be warmer, 22 for a high temperature and a northeast wind shifting to the northwest at 5 to 15. Then for tomorrow night, increasingly cloudy, 13 degrees for low. And for Super Sunday, mostly cloudy. We do have a chance of some light snow, 30 degrees for the high. So mild weather for the big game. Monday through Wednesday, another chance of some rain or snow on Wednesday, but temperatures will stay above normal. We should have highs near the freezing point and overnight lows in the teens. It's like this all the time in Minnesota in winter. It always is. Not.
We'll be right back, if you believe that one.
This is when corn really needs to be babied, the tender young age of 4 weeks, because it's vulnerable to weeds and to herbicides that aren't gentle. That's why you should pamper your corn with Laddick from BASF, the gentlest post-emergence broadleaf herbicide you can buy. Laddick lets you be sure that one day your crop will grow up to achieve its full potential. Laddick. It's tough on weeds, but it's gentle on corn. Laddick is a restricted-use pesticide.
Dishwashers to refrigerators, a KitchenAid will last.
Through the years. The KitchenAid appliances you've been wanting now come with special values on selected models.
Through the years.
Once a year, there's a coat sale so big it breaks records. Right now, Burlington Coat Factory has slashed its already low prices on over 2 million coats during its once-a-year warehouse sale. It's America's greatest coat sale with tremendous savings on top-name coats for women, men, and children, plus sportswear, kids' clothes, and menswear at the lowest prices of the season now. Don't wait. At these prices, they won't hang around long. Save now on coats and so much more during Burlington's once-a-year warehouse sale.
How do the new Toyota trucks stack up? Anything they can do, we can do better.
Can we deliver? Yes, we can.
More power?
Yes, we can.
More room?
Yes, we can.
More payload?
Yes, we can.
The quality Middle America wants made Toyota trucks the #1 selling import, and we're out to stay #1 by giving you the deal you want.
No. Yes, we can.
Really? You can't do any better than Toyota.
Can we deliver?
See your Toyota dealer today and find out.
Yes, we can.
Dennis Green already starting to assemble a blue-chip coaching staff.
Great move by Dennis Green today. You remember new to Viking defensive coordinator Tony Dungy as a Gopher quarterback in the mid-70s, but he's known around the National Football League as one of the smartest young coaches in the league. Dungy started his coaching career at the U as a graduate assistant in 1980, then moved to Pittsburgh, becoming a 28-year-old defensive coordinator in his 3rd year there in 1983. He's been the Kansas City Chiefs' secondary coach for the last 3 years. What Dungy qualities impressed Dennis Green the most?
Well, very intelligent. And I think that, when you think about, being a defensive coordinator and trying to be real specific at what you want to do to stop people, you want a guy who's very clear thinking. And I think on a Sunday game day, I think Tony will really be able to analyze and make quick decisions and very decisive decisions on what we feel the opponent will be doing and what we want to do to stop it. He's a pure football coach.
Green may have slipped when we asked him about his naming a new offensive coordinator. Green said, I can't offer him the job till next week because his team is still playing. Translation, we can look forward to Rod Downhauer, the Redskins quarterback coach, getting the Vikings offensive coordinator's job. Welcome to the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome for Super Bowl 26. Okay, it's a little early, but it seemed like Super Sunday for the Burnsville Braves, who played the roles of the Redskins and the Bills for a CBS dress rehearsal. The Braves won the honor by winning the Prep Bowl. The kids clearly got a kick out of their part of the Super Bowl preparation, a once-in-a-lifetime experience for all of them, including the Braves' Rob Lertzema, throwing one up in his old man benchwarmer Bob.
Yeah, well, actually, I was introduced as Art Monk, and I'm not anything like that, but as a defensive lineman. But it was cool to, be down there and think about what it would be like to play in a game that's that big. So many people all over the world are watching.
Oh, they have fun there today. Well, NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue made his annual State of the NFL address. Among his topics, the nicknames. Tagliabue said he talked with American Indian Movement leader Clyde Bellecourt and told him the league's point of view.
These team names, whether it's in the NFL or Major League Baseball or other organized sports, do not convey any demeaning meaning. They have acquired, in our view, a special and unique meaning affiliated with sports.
AIM will be protesting the National Football League outside the Metrodome on Sunday. Meanwhile, on our 5 o'clock report today, had the chance to interview John Madden. He has broadcast the Super Bowl 5 times for CBS, and that's just one reason why he doesn't get too nervous before the big game.
I don't get butterflies. We prepare. I've been preparing all season for this, and prepare all week.
We went to the Buffalo Bill practice yesterday. We went to the Redskin practice the day before. We're going to talk to both teams, both coaches again tomorrow. So by the time Sunday comes, I'll be totally prepared for that.
John Madden, born in Austin, Minnesota. Many Super Bowl memories with local connections, not all with the Vikings. Timberwolves president Bob Stein. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs against the Vikings in Super Bowl IV. The Chiefs, of course, routed the Vikes 23-7. 22 years later, Stein has his own recollections.
Well, at that time, it was a one-week warm-up period, and it was just very exciting. It was my first year, as you said. I was 21 years old. I guess I'm still the youngest person who played in the game, and it all went by so fast I barely knew what was going on.
Bob Stein, there's something to recall.
Yes. Thank you, Mark. Back in a minute.
We're throwing a party at KFC, and the reason is simple. For over 50 years, people have been looking to KFC for great-tasting chicken. And for 50 years, only KFC has delivered that great taste. With a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices, no one's ever made chicken like KFC. Celebrate over 50 years of delicious original recipe chicken with a 10-piece bucket for only $5.99. So stop by KFC and get a 10-piece bucket for just $5.99. And find out for yourself what the celebration's all about. This offer ends soon.
Marty Wheatland talks about encapsulated, timed-release Microtech herbicide.
Microtech's going to work from the time you apply it in the spring, right through the rains in the spring, through the heat and drought in the summer.
So how about control, Marty?
We had excellent control of grass and broadleaves alike. We were very pleased with Microtech.
Encapsulated, timed-release Microtech. Works in any weather. Just ask Marty.
Gives a guy peace of mind when you know that the product's going to be working for you night or day, rain or shine.
Forgot to add the softener sheets.
If only she knew about Solo. You can't forget the softener in Solo, because Solo is detergent and fabric softener in one. Look, these muddy sweatshirts came out clean, but Solo's clean is so soft, it's fluffed up higher.
Wait!
Next time,
I missed it.
get Solo. It cleans with a softness you can't forget.
Blue Summon! Blue Summon! Stand! Hunt! Hunt!
Stand! Hunt! Hunt!
Yellow 41!
Call now for tickets. 989-5151. The NFL Experience. Live it.
Each year, the garbage produced in Hennepin County would fill the dome. The good news, half is recycled. Join the winning team. Recycle.
Many celebrities visiting the Twin Cities this weekend.
And the first to visit the St. Paul Ice Palace is a familiar face to Minnesotans, of course.
I came to see the Ice Palace and to see my friend, Prince Wandale.
What do you think of what you've seen so far?
It's incredible. I can't believe it. I never heard of it before.
Former President Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind stopped in to admire the Winter Carnival majestic creation. Carter says he's more of a baseball fan than a football fan. No need to remind you who he was backing in the World Series, of course, and who he was sitting by. And but thanks for stopping by anyway, President Carter.
Is that your invitation?
Yeah.
It needs work.
I know.
Good night.
The Garlic Sisters on Denny's new base hit menu.
I brought this back to